government also to ensure the decision-making framework with a sound governing system, which actually guides the operation and implementation of land management. Land problems in India continue to attract equal attention from policymakers and academicians. The renewed interest in land issues stems from the perceived impact of liberalization and opening up the economy. Currency, land ceiling, and land administration are being revisited with a new perspective. Among the issues under renewed focus, legalizing tenancy, revising and ceiling limits, quality of land, meeting the challenges of many secured holdings that are consequence of marginalization and land administration are dominating the debate. This paper looks at these issues. It sets a background to the emergence of land policy in India from pre-independence and after tracing it through various phases, maps out the impact and emerging challenges. After an analysis of the development of land policy over various planning periods, the issue at stake during the 1990s are received. Finally, a case is made for a new land policy framework that includes reforms to the maintenance of land records, deals with the concealed tenancy and non-viable land holdings and the problem of land quality. These issues have assumed greater importance in the current economic transition in the rural areas. Introduction. Land policy in India has become a major topic of government policy discussion since the time prior to the independence from the British rule. The patience of the country strongly backed the independence movement and the land to the tiller policy of the Congress party because of the prevailing agrarian conditions. The agrarian structure during British administration emerged with a strong historical background. The land revenue systems implemented by Todarbal during Akbar's regime can be traced as the possible beginnings of systematic efforts to manage the land. This method incorporated measurement, classification and fixation of rent as its main component. Under the various pre-British regimes, land revenues collected by the state confirmed its right to land producers, and that it was the sole owner of the land. British rulers took a cue from this system and allowed the existence of non-cultivating intermediaries. The existence of these parasitic intermediaries served as an economic instrument to extract high revenues, as well as sustaining the political land on the country. Thus, at the time of independence, the agrarian structure was characterized by parasitic, rent-seeking intermediaries, different land revenue, and the ownership systems across regions. Small number of landholders holding a large share of the land, a high density of tenant cultivators, many of whom had insecure tenancy and exploitation productions relations. Immediately after independence, a committee under the chairmanship of the late Shri J.C. Kumarappa was appointed to look into the problem of land. The Kumarappa Committee report recommended comprehensive agrarian reform measures. India's land policy in the decades immediately following its independence was dominated by legislative efforts to address the problems identified by the Kumarappa Committee. A substantial volume of legislation was adopted, much of it flawed and little of it seriously implemented. Several important issues confronted the policy makers. 1. Land was concentrated in the hands of a few, and there was a proliferation of intermediaries who had no vested interest in self-cultivation. Leasing out land was a common practice. The tenancy contracts were exploitative in nature, and tenant exploitation was obscure. Land records were in extremely bad shape, giving rise to a mass of litigation. It is ironic that the Supreme Court of India in 1989 commented that the revenue records are not legal documents of title on the land records of the country. It is against this background that land policy has been shaped in India. While land reform legislation remains active, land policies in more recent decades have focused less on land reform and more on land development and administration. Land policy in India has undergone broadly four phases since independence. First,